welcome to Night City Sofa, a talk show here on Saves vs. Death. I am your host, Jessica or Jess, and with me today on the sofa is the always amazing Games and or Games. Hey, buddy.
Typing with his super loud keyboard. How's it going, Jess?
Games End with his super loud keyboard.
Notoriously loud.
I love your keyboard. Right, tonight we are talking about our Talsorian Games' Cyberpunk RED October DLC, Your New Best Friend. It has been out for a while because they released it, I think, mid-month?
Yeah.
Or, like, the second week. It was really early. So, it's been out for a bit, but if you haven't picked it up, you can go do so at ourtalsoriangames.com/downloadable-content. Or by clicking the link in chat if you're watching this live, or in the video description below if you're listening on YouTube or podcast. And because I constantly forget to mention it, I did want to say you could also pick them up at Drive-Thru RPG, where our Talsorian has bundled them by year. So if you're super behind and you haven't gotten them, you can just download them in like bundles.
All of it together. Yeah.
If you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to ask them in the chat. We'll do our best to... We'll answer them as best we can. We'll answer your questions. They may not be great answers, but we'll answer them. And
I'm not a professional, so you know.
And then the last thing, it's not on the screen, but I do want to remind you, with a lot of the times with the DLCs, we reference our homebrew game, Shades of Scarlet. So... spoiler warning, just generic, large, here there be spoilers for the campaign. If you're not caught up, I'm sorry, we'll try to remember to say it, but I make no guarantees.
Right. I just assume everybody's caught up all the time. No. And as to us being professionals, I love how we were having a conversation about the Cyber Dolphins like a year and a half ago. And who was it, Jay, that popped in and was, like, correcting that?
No, Jay said Cyber Dolphins existed.
Yeah, I know, but, like...
we called Cyberpets a year ago. Finally, in addition to going over the DLC, I can read... we are going to be reading a bunch of community submissions for Cyberpet models at the very end of this, so stick around for that. And with that, shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright. This DLC was written and designed by Brian Shutter, who I believe this is the first time they've written for Cyberpunk RED, that they are not new to the TTRPG space completely. So it's very exciting to see a new writer in the mix, tossing ideas. Story Games, it looked like you had something to say.
No, you're good.
I'll just keep going. You cut me off. It'll be fine.
I always do, don't worry.
The lore of this DLC, of course, begins with the first page, and it's in the form of an article by Ryder Lee of WNS News. Now, my lore knowledge for Night City and Cyberpunk in general is, there's a lot to remember. I don't remember most of it. So I'm not sure if Ryder Lee or WNS News has been printed before. I feel like WNS News is. I feel like I've seen the logo for that but I can't
think so
remember
too.
If I've ever seen Ryder Lee. So, if it hasn't been, hey, new media, new reporter, new news.
You can add to your story. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure at least one of them has. So it's a good reminder that these things exist in addition to World's At. Yeah. Also, the data square on the little side, it does point you to page 268 in the core rulebook if you want to learn more about Biotechnica, which is the corporation that is created, recreated, revitalized this line of Cyberpets. We're going to say revitalized because the article does reference cyberpets that were all the rage in the 2020s, meaning cyberpets are not new to the world. But they have been revised since the Fourth Corporate War. So, Games, you played Cyberpunk 2020. I started in Red, so I don't know past stuff. And you're constantly bringing up the Cyber Tiger. You and Hades both constantly bring up the Cyber Tiger. So tell us about the Cyberpets in Cyberpunk 2020. Or what you remember.
What I remember, yeah. The accuracy of these statements may not be all that accurate. From what I remember, because we made that our team goal was to get a Cyber Tiger, but you had to first buy whatever the exotic pet was that you were going to turn into a cyber creature, which was not cheap. And then you had to pay for the cyberware that you were going to implant, and depending on the animals, how many slots it has. And that was not cheap. And then you had to train them, and that was not cheap. So, our goal was to just purchase the tiger, and then we'd work out the rest later.
That sounds like a you guys plan. That so sounds like a you guys plan.
Yeah, from what I remember, they were neat. They were a lot like the ones here, but these ones seem to be worked out a lot better for, like, functionalness than the 2020 ones. We're just like, this is a cool cyber animal that does a thing. And now it's like, yeah, but this is a useful thing that the animal does. It's not just going to eat you because it's a tiger. I remember...
It still could eat you because it's
yeah,
a tiger.
It was like 2,000 nuyen just for the behavioral chip for the tiger to get it to be docile. We could not afford that. Yes, the bear has an arm coming out of its chest.
Yes, the cyber bear does have 3 arms. It's a 3-armed bear.
It's terrifying.
It is terrifying. Okay. So, at the moment, for Cyberpunk RED, they've only released 8 models. The Cyber Tiger, sadly, is not one of them. But that doesn't mean that's all that we might see in future releases. Could we have Petmas? Maybe 12 Days of Petmas will be the December DLC, if anybody...
I would love that.
...in the higher powers
or an Easter
are listening
release.
to me. 12 Days of Cyberpets. Cyberpetmas? Petmas? Something like that.
Yeah.
Ryder also asked about the possibility of cyber dinos, but Dr. Talia Vex, the Biotechnica's lead bioengineer, refused to comment. But they can take from extinct species, we know this. So,
right.
Cyber dinos...
They're coming, they just didn't want to tell us about it yet.
It's probably because they're going to be militarized. They have a special contract with Militech for the cyber dino line.
Which actually...
I'm making that up.
Yeah, no, for sure. But we're not on this part at all, and I know we're going to talk about it later. But one of the possible hooks is the head of security one, where a corporate insider feels guilty about deaths that were caused by the Cyberpet line, and then wants protection because there's an assassin coming after them. You could easily make that about the dinosaur line, for like, that's the secret they're hiding, is like, yeah, no, they made the Utah Raptor the 7-foot-tall killing machine, and it was a terrible idea. We lost so many people.
As though you haven't learned from movies. Don't
right.
bring back the dinosaurs. Finally, there's a separate addition to the lore in the form of an email that I like from Dr. Vex to the Bioforum project team. And the email mentions she's received reports of the bioforms acting erratic and showing signs of cyber-psychotic breaks once they are, like, out of the lab and living with their owners. And Dr. Vex continues to state that no such thing has been seen in the lab and cannot be proven, and therefore any fault must lie with the owners and not the product. Extra warning labels have been put on, but essentially they're like, no, it's the owner's fault. It's not ours, so don't worry about it.
Imagine owning a cyber bear and it just going cyber psycho one day.
Which, I mean, yes. But in addition to your note
it makes perfect sense, though.
Go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, because if you think of, like, so cyberpsychosis occurs when we stop feeling human. We start feeling more machine than human. if you're taking an animal that natively doesn't live in an apartment, that has to hurt their psyche. And then adding, like, electronics and stuff to it, like, yeah, no, they're gonna snap. It's a terrible plan.
But for the plot hook that you also mentioned,
Sorry.
it could be no, because I like that, because that's the thing. The plot hook is just that they feel bad about the deaths. It doesn't say what deaths. It could be about this cyber psychotic break.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that more when I get to the plot hooks thing, because I actually have it tie into like a few others. So we'll get there.
Sorry.
No, don't be, not at all.
I am the worst, by the way, co-host for the show. I don't know why you let me come back so often, because I'm always like, speaking of, we're going to talk about this in about 45 minutes, but...
For right now.
Grappling hooks.
Oh, grappling hook on a scorpion tail, but like, it'd have to be a big scorpion.
Yeah.
Like a riding... Anyway, sorry. There's so much you guys can do with the lore here. Uncovering the truth about cyberpsychosis with Cyberpets, heist missions for Cyberpets, rescue missions, and more. We're going to talk about those as we go on and interrupt, or when we get to the plot hooks, we'll find out. One or the other. Both.
I thought of something funny, but I'll wait.
Go for it.
Because it's disruptive. I will wait.
I'm done with lore. I'm about to move on to how to keep a Cyberpet, so it's a good moment.
I'm going to wait until we get to plot hooks.
Are you going to remember when we get to plot hooks?
Yes.
Oh god, okay.
It's going to tie into our last episode.
Oh. Ooh, I'm intrigued. Okay. No. Bjorn, no. Sorry. We're just posted that he sees our raptors and raises an army of cyber-engineered spiders with a hive mind as someone who really dislikes spiders.
That would be so terrifying.
I'm not quite an arachnophobe, but no.
And an entire army of them.
Yeah. Let's just not. Okay, so the next part is talking about how to keep a cyber pet. So, how you go about getting one and then keeping it. First thing, you need to get a hold of a fixer. Probably a fixer with the right connections, because I doubt Rex knows someone who has access to cyber pets.
Yeah, I would imagine you would need somebody who has a line on biotechnia stuff. I think that's your best way to get there.
Of all the fixers we know, I'm pretty sure Rogue would be the only one who might have a chance of getting one.
Yeah, I would imagine that's true.
Yeah.
Or weirdly, the lady who owned the import store, she could have some deep lore that we don't know about.
The gift shop and antique store?
Yeah, she's a retired Biotechnica lab assistant.
I mean, she does have a garden, so it's possible. We just never knew.
Nobody asked.
Yeah. After then, once you talk to the fixer, then you have to pay the fee for the pet, which is not cheap for the most part. It really is not. And before you do that, you should probably make sure you have enough living space and the lifestyle cost for what just happened to my stream.
Nothing? I still think you're good.
Okay. I saw things shift and move and I got real scared. No? Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's all good here now. What is going on?
I love it.
Oh, I know what it was. A stupid ad came up at the bottom, so it resized everything, and I thought shit was breaking. We're fine. Okay. So yeah, make sure you have their food, their lifestyle cost ready. Make sure you have a space for them if they need a space to live, because some animals do. And their lifestyle cost is not prorated, which means even if you buy them the third week of the month, you have to pay an entire month's worth for lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, and you're going to talk about this in a minute, but they are not necessarily small creatures as far as space goes.
You mean like the bear that's on the cover and currently on the screen right now?
Yes, that
Yeah.
bear. But also, we were discussing, because I know Blank doesn't watch this, so we're safe. Uh, he watches this. We were discussing if Vim had cyberware, he would cost $300 a month to feed. That's more than I spend on food
I feel like
in
it's
real
not just
life.
food though. It's their whole lifestyle, like anything associated with them.
Right.
Yeah. He should
I assume that covers vet bills and stuff too, as part of
if
that.
mm, maybe if needed. I assume like a
Like
cleaning
normal
fee
checkups.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Vim probably should cost me more than he does, but we'll just not mention that.
He's a cheap date. It's alright.
He's wonderful, and we love him. You also, so once you have a space for them, and you have the money to cover their lifestyle, at least for the first month, you should probably make sure you have a few, kind of maybe in the bank, and you get your pet, you then need to take care of it. You can't just be like, oh, I've got myself this animal, I'm just going to ignore it. Because if you do that, it counts as mistreatment, and the animal can ignore you, it can turn on you, or it can run away. So it becomes
Yep,
like
you have to dedicate time to it.
an NPC you have to dedicate time to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do, it becomes super loyal, and it will do its best to fight for you and keep you
Yeah,
protected.
they're super awesome, so they're worth the effort, but they do require effort, like real animals.
Yeah. As for the sleep space to determine how much you actually need, it's done by kind of like enemy stat level.
Size charting.
Size charting depends on how much space you need. So a Mook level critter doesn't actually take up an additional bed. So if you're in a cube hotel or a cargo container or a studio apartment, you're fine.
I think GM discretion, because like the cyber spiders that Beelzebub was talking about, they would be Mook level, so they don't take up room. But an army of cyber spiders, I feel like that should take up some room.
Oh, no, if it's an army, then it's not a Mook level enemy anymore. But yes, I would agree too. Yeah, you can't have one of the Mook level animals, and this is a data rabbit. You can't have 10 data rabbits and assume that they can all
count
live
them
in
all
your
as
cargo
zero.
container or your cube. Fine. Doesn't work. If you have a lieutenant level, they take up 1 bed's worth of space. A mini boss takes up 2 beds worth of space, and a boss level pet takes up 3 beds worth of space. And I do want to just remind you guys that it's towards the capacity count, not the number of beds. So, a studio or cargo container has 1 bed, but technically you can have 1 plus the bed number, so they can both hold 2.
Yeah.
So it's not by bed, it's by capacity count.
So you could have a lieutenant, right? Would be the largest.
In
A
my
Mook or
currently?
lieutenant. No, just in a 1-bedroom,
Yes.
you could have up to
A lieutenant.
lieutenant.
Correct.
I need a cyber whale. How many beds does that take up?
A cyber what?
Whale?
A cyber
Like
whale?
an orca?
Definitely takes
Yeah.
up 3 bed spaces. However, due to the fact that it's an aquatic creature, it also requires its own tank, which would be the equivalent of its own separate 3-bedroom space.
It's a big tank.
Yeah. Although I would say because it's its own tank of a 3-bedroom space, your living space can only be 1 bedroom. So if you have a cargo container next to like a Beaverville mansion that you have converted into
Your whale house.
a whale house, yeah, you'd be fine. I'd be okay with that as your GM. Alright, so once you've got the space for it, you've got your pet, you've brought it home, next you have to train it. Thankfully, for the purposes of it being a TTRPG, as long as you have an animal handling skill base of 10 or greater, it will obey you. Kind of like driving. If you have a skill base of 10 or more, you can drive a car without making a check. If your animal handling base is 10 or more, it will just obey you. Fun fact, Moxie's is not. I need one more. I need to up it to level 2 in order to get a base of 10. I've had to put points in other more important life-saving skills.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't spend a lot of points on animal handling.
I spent at least 1 point on it. I
Yeah.
should spend at least 2. She spent a lot of time with Vim.
Vim doesn't ever listen to you, though, so I think that works out perfectly.
Vim always listens to Moxie.
I like to believe he just does whatever he wants.
He does. The thing is, Vim is just like, he just sits there and he doesn't care.
Right.
It's like, oh, I'm warm in here? Yeah, I'm not gonna move. If it's lower, if your base is lower than a 10, your GM decides how it's going to act. And again, of course, if you mistreat your pet, if you don't give it the proper care, which includes not giving it the correct lifestyle, or making it sleep in cramped conditions, because you can do that, not showing it affection, not paying attention to it, the GM can decide to have it disobey you, run away, or attack you if they feel it is warranted.
Yep.
If your pet disobeys you, your GM may let you have a temporary animal handling check to roll above a 10 to see if you can get it under control, but that's not permanent until you fix whatever is currently broken in your situation.
Right.
And I think that this would be a really great hook for finding a cyberpet on the street if a player really wants one and can't afford it, because, spoiler alert, maybe their house got blown up twice. And they have to rebuy everything again.
So they can't afford a cyber
They
turtle.
have no money to buy a cyberpet. Spoiler over. But I think that could be a really great plot hook to get them to bring home. And I know I have a section for plot hooks games. I do it too. One of the plot hooks is about a fighting ring.
Yeah.
That is going on. Now, I personally, one of my veils, when we play, which is something that I don't mind being in a game, but I don't necessarily want it graphically described, is animal violence, harm to animals. However, if I was presented with a mission of you can go and rescue animals that are being thrown into a fighting pit and find them good homes, and save them from this, and I'm not going to graphically describe what's going on there, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, that's always been one of my veils too, like unnecessary cruelty to animals. Like, I understand if for story reasons you need, like, oh, a dog got hit by a car, mention it, you don't need to describe it.
Exactly. Exactly. So this is one of those ones, and if you're GM and you choose to run this hook, or you're a player that really wants to, like, have a hook with the fighting ring, just make sure everybody at the table is okay with that being a mission and where they sit on how graphic and dark you want it to be.
That was actually a big thing with this DLC, is because it adds a lot more of that to the game. Like, if you have to fight a cyber bear, that's cruelty to an animal if it's doing it because it's ordered to do it, you know? But if it's necessary for the story, I understand it, but just talk to everyone at the table, make sure everyone's comfortable. So
Yes.
Also, yes. Get the leg replacements for the turtle so it has tank treads.
That would be fun. Did you have anything to know on training?
Not offhand, no.
Okay. So you've trained your pet, you've got it, you've trained it. Next, maybe you want to add a bit more extra cyberware. Maybe because what it came with is great, but you think it could use a grappling hook. Because grappling hook. So...
Because all river otters need a grappling hook, Jess.
All animals need a grappling hook. Why not? Now, it's not as easy to get cyberware for your pet as it is to get for yourself. You can find almost any animal-like versions of human cyberware that exists. So if it exists for humans, chances are it exists for animals. It's just finding it for that species specific is going to be more difficult than you think. Finding it for an animal is going to be complicated. Finding it for that species is going to be complicated. I could lose an eye, games could lose an eye. It's a cybernetic eye is going to be the same size.
Right.
A rat eye isn't going to fit in a bear's socket, and a bear eye is going to be way too big to try to fit in a rat. So,
right.
To use the example in the DLC, they're not interchangeable. You also have to find the right med tech in order to be able to install the cyberware. They have to have science biology, at least 4 points in science biology in order to perform the cyberware installation. Otherwise, your pet will straight up die during surgery.
Yep. You need a very specialized doctor.
And I'm not gonna lie, it really wanted me to create a vet-based med tech as a character.
That would be neat.
And then once it's installed, you then have to train your animal in how to use the new cyberware. And
you basically do the physical therapy for the animal.
Yeah, and it requires an animal handling DV equal to the installation DV. So if you fail the check, it's okay, nothing bad happens, but until you succeed, all your animal can do is eat and sleep until it learns how that piece of cyberware interacts with everything else. It can't function beyond basic survival of eating and sleeping.
Yep.
But you can at least try. I think you can try every day. So it's not super. It takes a full day to train them. So I'm pretty sure you can try every day. But you do need someone to. You do need to spend time and teach it.
Yep.
Lastly, every Cyberpet comes with, of course, base installations that are there, and then generally some extra slots. If you remove cyberware that's part of the animals, like the Cyberpet line, that was base, you don't get free installation slots. So the data rabbit comes with a hidden eye socket. If you remove that cyber eye with that compartment and try to free it up so that it can have, like, I don't know, jump booster legs, that's not how that works.
No.
No. You don't get that free slot back. But if you, of course, install, like, the jump booster legs and then you realize that your buddy's a little too... it's jumping a little too high and hurting itself on its landing and you want to remove those for something else, that you can do. This was
you
something
put the
you
roller
added in addition
skates
after
feet.
Purchasing. Sorry?
You put the roller skate feet on it.
Got it. So that's it. You buy it, you make sure you have the money, you make sure you have a space for it, train it, take care of it, love it forever.
Yep. Just like real animals.
Just like real animals. And cyber it up if you think it can do something a little extra.
Just like real animals?
No. So that's how to care for them. Now we're going to get into the Cyberpet hooks, unless anybody has. Of course, if you guys have any questions, if I haven't covered anything, please let me know. Games, is there anything you want to mention about caring for, obtaining and caring?
Nope, I feel like we covered it pretty well.
Cool. So, in the DLC, and I like that they added this, they gave plot hooks that you can kind of take with and run. Game already spoke about one. So the first one is called From It Came From the Sewers, which is rumors of a monster under Night City has everyone on high alert.
Which I assume is what's going on in the cover of the DLC.
No. I would assume not. There's another plot hook that I think fits the cover better.
Yeah, for sure.
Much better. But I like this because it can range from, like, you know when people blind panic?
Yeah.
It could be a cyber rat. Like, it legit could be a cyber rat.
Right.
Or a neon newt. And it's just got people freaking out, and it's really nothing. It could be a rumor.
A newt with a flamethrower in the sewers, people would be like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. It could be a rumor started by someone just to cause panic in the sewers. Like, it doesn't actually have to be a cyberpet. If you read, however...
Cybergators,
yeah. It could be, I mean, it could be a forever turtle or a cyber boa or a neon newt. You never know.
Nobody would be intimidated by a turtle.
Until it bites your arm off.
I love that text. When we get there, I'll talk about it.
But if you read the mission that came with Danger Gal dossier, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but there is a group that lives in, like, under the city, in the sewer line. So they may have started the rumor, maybe to keep people away. Or maybe they're the ones who bring it to attention because they are now terrified of whatever this creature is. Or maybe your crew knows Toggle from the Toggle's Temple DLC, and Toggle doesn't know what it is, but he wants to make sure it's not one of those 3 Cs, man, and he is going to send you to investigate those sewers to make sure that the fish have not infiltrated and are coming for him. And I think that's a hilarious
I could
plot
foresee
hook.
you're trying to get to Toggle's Temple and take, like, a wrong turn and run into Cyberpet.
Cyberboa. So yeah, and I think, too, it's a great hook that you can craft a mystery in the mystery DLC that we just covered. Leading crew, like, dropping clues and having people investigate maybe what was left behind or what's going on down there. You could certainly base this plot, I think, very easily as a mystery for your crew to solve without there being any combat.
Right, for sure. And then you get to add the previous DLC.
Yeah. So many DLCs you can use. Alright, do you want to read the next plot hook, or do you want me to keep going?
What's the next plot hook?
Too good to be true.
Oh! Alright, this is the one I think could relate to the last episode we did. So, the Too Good to Be True says, a shipping container thought to be full of cyber parts is actually holding a cyber bear. What if that's the thing that you have to save Barry from the cyber bear?
Oh, he's not drowning? He's just...
in a crate with a cyber,
with a cyber bear? Dear God.
The sedative in the cyber bear will wear off in the next 20 minutes. Good luck.
I thought this would be a real fun mission for the indie bandits when they're going to, like, another...
Auction. We'll buy this one. And then they, like, open it up. Oh my god, that's a bear!
There would be so many different reactions from that group. Dahlia would be like, close it, close it, close it. Silo would be like, that's so cool! Let's tame it!
It would become our new mascot, is the problem.
No, it wouldn't. Which I'm pretty sure, by the way, that is what the cover represents, is this probably.
Well, you get, like, the sewer pipes and stuff in the background on the cover, so... Either, really?
Oh, I guess. I was looking at the shipping containers, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Either way, that bear does not look happy.
No. I also think that this could be a really great moral mission to toss at the crew to see what they do. And possibly, like, really well lead to the next plot hook, which is head of security, which we've already talked about.
Yeah.
Where, you know, the corporate insider wants to talk about the cyberpsychosis breaks in animals. So if that bear is having a cyberpsychotic episode, maybe there's something in the container that leads the crew to talk to this person in Biotechnica. So you could do, like, a stringed mission from one to the other.
Yeah, you could do something really interesting there.
No. Which I really like.
We introduced Cyberpets in the main show a long time ago.
Did we?
The pirate episode when we were talking about Cyber Dolphin.
Introduced. And lastly, last plot hook we talked briefly before is called Critter Combat, and that's the underground cyberpet fighting ring that has been uncovered. The gang responsible must be taken down. Caution! A dangerous number of cyberwolves are aggressively loyal to their master, the ringleader, Michelle Vex. And I wanted to draw attention to this again in this specific section, because I know we talked about it before, because the name, Michelle Vex. Vex is the same last name as Dr. Talia Vex, who runs the Cyberpet line. So is this fighting ring perhaps more than it appears? Is it perhaps a Biotechnica like testing facility to see how combat works? Or is it something where she sends like the rejects or the ones that didn't? Like what you could do much with
cool
this
stuff,
plot
yeah.
hook just by that name alone.
Right. Also, I think Biotechnica worked on Kaiju and it just didn't work out.
Yet. This is because Gina stole their test subject and Vim is now with us.
He was the prototype Godzilla.
But yeah, I think you could do some really cool things with the fighting ring that is a mission that could lead to something else.
Yeah. Actually, just from these 4 hooks, you could tell a good long-running campaign.
Yeah. Based on Cyberpets. Doesn't love Cyberpets. Yeah, don't fail to get good rules if you're collecting a rescue.
It's true.
So with that, I think that covers most of the DLC, apart from the actual pets themselves. So let's talk about the Cyberpets, which is probably the most exciting thing in the DLC.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. They are separated into 2 different, pet lines. The first is just a regular Cyberpet line. It promotes these pets as companions. And I noticed a lot of the names tend to be a little more unique. You have your Data Rabbit, you have your Forever Turtle, the Neon Newt. However, their Cyberpet Plus line, all those animals have the word cyber before the animal type. So your Cyber Wolves, Cyber Bear, Cyber Boa. And I thought that was a really quick and smart marketing strategy to be like, if you want a combat one, look at the ones that say cyber in front of their name. If you want one that's more for companionship, it won't have cyber in front of its name.
It'll have a cute name.
Hmm?
It'll have a cute name instead of Cyber River Otter of Doom.
How did you add it of Doom?
I'm pretty sure that's what the ad would say.
I feel like someone's graffitied of Doom on every marketing surface they could find.
Right.
So let's start with the Cyberpet line, Companions for Life. Games, do you want to talk about the Data Rabbit? I'm going to let you do the majority of the talking, because I've talked enough.
You have talked quite a bit. I apologize. So we have the Data Rabbit. It costs 1,000 EB, because they're not cheap. Yeah, but, I mean, still, for a rabbit, $1,000 is a little pricey.
But it's a one-time fee.
It's true.
It's the cost of your bed. Dude, you could have a bed or a Data Rabbit.
They should have gotten the Data Rabbit. It requires that you have generic pre-pack, which is very reasonable in comparison to some of the others. And it has 2 cyberware slots. It is Mook size, so you can have an infinite number of these in your house. No. But each of the creatures kind of have a special feature with their being a cyber pet. The Data Rabbit specifically has an EMP protected storage locker for holding sensitive memory chips in one of its eyes. And then you can track the rabbit later, so you just let it go if you're under attack, and then go find it after the coast is clear. So that is the Cyber Rabbit. I will say they are... Sorry, go ahead.
Nope.
I was going to say they're very breakable. Did you look at their stats?
Mm-hmm.
They only have 10 health. But luckily they're very quick, because they have a reflexes 8. Yeah, move of 10, reflexes 8, dexterity 8. So
that means they can move 20 squares in a turn if they are dashing. Right. You're not going to catch that thing.
They have subdermal armor, which is nice, so...
I do, because you mentioned you can just get it when it, if you're in combat. And the quote is so heartbreaking. because it says, "Listen, Einstein. You hear the pounding on the door? That's bad people coming to get me. I need you to take this chip and go hide. They'll come and find you after they've gone. Don't be scared. You're a good bunny, and Daddy loves you." Which is very sweet until you read the last words of Roger B. Wicker.
Yeah.
So he doesn't make it. But that led me to my thought of the plot hook of there somewhere is a data rabbit out on the streets hiding,
Waiting for
that
its owner.
someone could pick up, especially if it hasn't eaten in a while.
Right.
And unbeknownst to the crew, it's probably got a chip full of sensitive information that somebody wants.
Enough to send somebody to kill somebody, yeah.
So now this crew has this data chip that they may or may not know exists, and I think that just from that quote, you can pull an entire plot hook.
Yeah, for sure. The next one up is the Forever Turtle. This one costs $2,000. It eats good pre-pack, so it's a little more expensive as far as the lifestyle goes. Still 2 slots. Something I love about the Forever Turtle is that they have a hardened shell, which counts as SP11, but they also have a data, or what is it called? Trauma response nanomatrix. So once per day, their SP will heal to full. And if you get it installed an additional time, they can do it an additional time per day. So you can have a turtle that just like fully heals its SP several times a day, which would be awesome. So their big thing is they've got crazy combat jaws installed that can bite through like anything. We'll get to that when we're discussing the cyberware that was added to this game, but they're intense. They do 4d6 damage. But and when they tuck in, they put their arms and legs in, they are immune to headshots. So that's nice. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I will say the turtle, I can't remember if you mentioned this, it is a hardened mook. Technically still falls under the mook category, where it doesn't take up an extra bed space. But I would say, because it's hardened, I feel like it needs something a little extra. And the quote talks about it like living in water. I'd say just kind of like an inflatable pool. Something to keep it like happy.
Well, and they talk about in there that it is an amalgamation of several different turtles. So I'd imagine that, river turtle's in there somewhere, so it would like some water.
Yeah.
So keep it in your bathtub.
Yeah, or getting like an inflatable pool for it or something.
Right.
Like it doesn't require a bed space, but it does require something.
Yeah.
I need a tank for Vim, but that's beside the point.
Did you want to read the quote for this one?
I have a sneeze that is on the verge of hitting, and it won't come out, and so it's like, so I'm okay, and then it's like, nope, and then I'm okay. And it's really
Bless you,
horrible.
Jess.
Thank you.
The quote for this one is, What do you mean, what's that thing? It's a turtle, you Doomba. You've never seen one before on the data pool? It's, some kind of reptile. Lives in water, eats leaves. This is good. This one's kind of cute. Look at it looking at me. I bet it just wants a pet. Hey, little guy, you want a little love? Razor Glade. Just before his hand got crushed. It's like he tried to pet the turtle and it bit him. I love that. The next of the Cyberpet series, that is the friendly ones, not the combat ones, is the Neon Newt. This one also costs 2,000 EB. Good pre-pack. It does only have one cyber slot, though.
So just a reminder, those slots are the extra slots. Or
the additional stuff that can be installed, yeah.
Or you can add a grapple hook.
Yes, your Newt could have a grappling hook. So they come with a built-in bio flamethrower. Whenever they sneeze or are otherwise agitated, they emit a fire breath. And they have acid secretions that come from their skin. Which is awesome. I like that it says that it comes in an impressive variety of lab-engineered neon pink, blue, green, and whatever other color could not be found in nature. Like, I just think that that's cool that, like, the acid that they secrete is different colors.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they have flamethrowers installed. So that's the big thing with them, which is 1d6 damage, but it's also fire damage. So look up the fire rules on that one.
Mm-hmm. And if you combine it with the acid secretion will lower the armor.
Yep, I was going to say that.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So when the acid secretion touches things, it does no damage to like skin or anything like that, but it does lower SP by 1, and it says all armor worn. So if it touches you for long enough, it'll eat through your armor, which is awesome.
I feel too like a newt is fairly small, so if you put it on someone's armor and they don't notice.
Right. It just kind of crawls around.
Get away with that, but I feel like if you have a GM that's got rule of cool, do it.
It's a $2,000 newt, though. I'm not sure I would want to just bring it into combat with me.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then the Ocelot, or the Obsidian Ocelot.
Before we go to the Ocelot, I do want to comment on the quote. I'm not going to read the quote out about the fire newt. But the quote is actually from Ryder Lee, who was the one who wrote the news article above, and it's talking about the newt that they lent for this article so they could get used to it. And
because
he talks
they mentioned
about
that they got
how it's a puff piece article, and his suit got ruined because it breathes fire, and he's so pissed off about it. So if you're wondering if Ryder Lee,
it ties back into the lore.
Being paid off by Biotechnica, yes, he was, and he is apparently not a fan.
Right.
Alright, sorry. The Obsidian
Tactical
Ocelot.
Pug. Yes, sorry. I was reading chat for a moment. The Obsidian Ocelot, which is a hardened lieutenant. So all the rest of these that I didn't mention before, those all fall under the Mook or hardened Mook category. So they're all smaller. The Ocelot, however, is a lieutenant, so it does take up 1 sleeping space. But yeah, so they are super pretty and badasses. They have combat jaws, and chameleon coating, which gives them more stealth. And their claws do 3d6 damage. They're giant badasses. But the big thing is that even though they're not solos, they get to use combat awareness, just like a solo would at rank 5.
Yeah.
So they would be great guards for your house. I always wanted an Ocelot in real life. They make terrible pets, but I always wanted one. A Cyber Ocelot would be amazing.
I will note, they're $4,000. So they only actually cost
I forgot to mention that.
Twice as much as a small Mook, which isn't too bad. It's their required lifestyle, which is fresh food, which is $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
We don't make that kind of cash.
And they have 3 cyber slots. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, no, you would have to be wealthy to have an Ocelot.
Yeah.
But they're neat.
But they're real cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I could never afford one. But
I'm just gonna check that was it, because that is it for the Cyberpet line. Yeah, now we get to move to the Cyberpet Plus line.
Yep.
So these ones are made to go with you.
These are more combat.
Intense situations.
We start that off with Cyber Bear. And it's cheap. It's only 20,000 EB.
It's cheap.
It's the thing that's more expensive. It requires ×2 fresh food. So it'd be $3,000 a month to feed your Cyber Bear.
I mean, it's a big boy. Look at him. He's a big boy with 3 arms.
Well, and it's the mini boss size. So it requires, 2 sleeping slots?
Yep.
They're huge, though. And their stats are impressive. Their intelligence is the only thing that is not so great. I will say that they have a recovery move that if they get knocked over, they can do a martial arts roll to get up and it not cost an action, which is neat.
Yep.
And because they have 3 arms innately, they have a 3-arm attack, which is amazing. um, yeah, it does significantly more damage. These things are huge beasts and would be giant badasses to have. So
I do want to say the 3-arm strike isn't necessarily that it hits you with each of its arms. If it hits
yeah,
you with its rate of fire 2 claw attack, with both of them hit, it gets a choice of what to do with its third
with
attack.
the last arm, yeah,
Which can grapple. It can do another. It could do a third attack if it wanted to. It could make you just suffer a random bodily critical injury, which is terrifying. And
the last one I think is even scarier.
Reduce the SP of all your targets worn armor by 4. And just for a note, its combat number, so its base number before you roll, is 16. 16 plus dice roll.
Yeah. So
do not
conceivably
engage melee with this thing.
Yeah. So you're looking at like a 20 is like the common roll.
Yeah. If not higher.
Yeah.
And it also has tech upgraded subdermal armor for an SP 13.
I feel bad about Barry.
He's being filled with water. You've got an hour. He's fine. The bear will kill him. I did want to point out though, because you mentioned the stats and I forgot to mention this before. All the Cyberpet line animals have an empathy of 2, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you start installing extra cyberware, it makes sense that they are going to break a lot faster.
Yeah, because they're already on the edge.
They're already on the edge. The bear, at least for being dumb, has an empathy of 5.
Right, which is significantly better than the one after that. The one I'm about to talk about, the boa, has an empathy of 1. It has 3 slots, but an empathy of 1.
What started killing people first? Just get it fashion. No. Just 3 slots of fashion wear. You'll be fine. Light tattoos.
It has a lot of tattoos, yeah.
Oh wait, those don't take up cyberware slots, damn it.
It has tech hair.
It still don't think takes up a cyberware slot.
The cyber boa that I just brought up, it's also 4,000, or no, not also, because the last one was 20,000. This one is only 4,000. It eats a normal amount of fresh food and has 3 cyberware slots. So the big thing with the boa is that they have air hypo vampire fangs, so you can load chemicals in them. When they bite people, it will inject them with said chemical. So they're normal. The air hypo bite only does 1d6, but because you can add up to 5 doses of a single biotoxin, poison, or street drug to it, that can get brutal quickly. And a good delivery method. They have a dexterity of 9 and a body of 7, so they're kind of badasses. And because I think it's all of them. No, it's not all of them, because the cyber rat doesn't have it. The bear and the boa both have tech armor of SP12, so they can take a hit. So the rat does not, though.
Well, before we get to the rat, I do want to say that with the cyber boa, and Jesus Christ, definitely load 6 gun into the cyber boa. Any of the pharmaceuticals from would be great. But I think it'd be a really fun thing, just as a GM, as one of the rumors that your media might pick up on if you have a media, or just as a news broadcast that may be playing in the background, is that a cyberboa was found in an apartment when the owner wasn't seen leaving, because especially since it has an empathy of 1, if their owner couldn't afford to feed it fresh food that month and it got pissed off, it just decided to eat them, and no one noticed for like a week. I think that would just be a really fun story to have in the background that fits the dark future vibe.
I haven't been mentioning all of the cyberware that all of these have. So going back up to the bear,
that's okay.
On top of the combat jaw, it also has grafted muscles, neuralink, and subdermal armor. But I wanted to mention it for the boa specifically because it has flashbulb, which we will talk about later. But basically, it causes a dazzle effect in anything that has meat eyes and blinds them. So I thought it was interesting that they come with the flashbulb automatically. So that's cool.
This could be the monster in the sewers, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Is there anything else you wanted me to talk about with the boa?
Nope, you can go ahead and move on to the Cyberrat.
All right, now we have the Cyberrat, which has been bioenhanced to be venomous, which is not a normal thing that rats have, to the best of my knowledge. But they have venomous fangs or claws. With a successful venomous fang or claw attack, even if it doesn't do damage, the target must beat a DV13 torture drug, or else they take an additional 1d6 damage directly to HP. Like, your armor doesn't matter, you just take the damage. They're really nice because they only cost 1,000 EB. They eat generic pre-pack. They've got 2 cyber slots, but they have a built-in cyber audio recorder and a cyber eye with a micro video recorder built into them. So yes, they only have like an SP7 and they're tiny little creatures that really don't do that much damage, but like for infiltration they would be super helpful, and they're affordable.
They also only have 10 HP, so also very fragile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're for infiltration.
They are. They're for infiltration and spying and then leaving without being seen. I do want to point directly to, for the Cyberrat, there is a little data square where they mentioned that the brawling skill base for the Cyberrat is a 5, where its base dex stat is an 8. That's not a typo. That is
Nope.
on purpose to show how the rat's size diminishes its paw-to-hand combat capabilities. It's
paw-to-hand combat.
But yes, that's not, if you're looking at it, I just want to draw attention there. That is not a typo. That is intentional.
Sorry, I was reading Lord Jesus' question in chat. Oh, yeah.
So, question about all of these. If y'all would be using these in a 2070s game, would you just add a new report to all of them? Would make them even better, especially with 2 free shard slots, 2 skill chips to enable them to do stuff they wouldn't normally be able to.
Yeah, I think you could make some pretty badass creatures that way.
Would you add a neuroport to all of these? I have issues with the neuroport system. I have issues with the quick hacking. So that's...
Most of these, I haven't been mentioning it, but they do have neural links with chip sockets.
Yes.
Already.
And they link to your agent.
Yeah.
But I have issues with like just the whole quick hacking thing. Because here's the thing. As a corporation, right? If I'm putting these animals out on the line, do I want someone to be able to hack my animal to turn them against the owner? Like, that seems like it would be a bad marketing strategy.
A bad plan. Well, you have to harden
I feel
them.
at the very least, if you're going to add the neuroport, they have to come with the 3 installations of ice that make it harder to be hacked.
Right.
At the very least, which is going to up their price. Which is fine, because more money is fine. So,
right.
Yeah, if you're going to add a neuroport, probably to link up to your agent and everything else, to link up to their owner. Yes, but conditionally that it also has to come with 3 installations of ice.
Yeah, for sure. So other people don't hack it.
Would be or can't hack it as easily.
Right.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have the Cyberwolf. Only 4,000 EB. It requires good pre-pack and has 3 slots. The Cyberwolf, as far as stats goes, they're good, but they're not great in comparison to a lot of the larger ones. And they're a lieutenant size, as you would imagine, so they only take up 1 bed slot. But they have combat awareness, like a solo would have. But also, they've got, what is it?
I'm going to note, combat awareness rank 3, not 5. Like,
you're right.
with
Theirs
the
isn't
other one. Yeah.
as good. Yeah. And that's as long as they're within 20 yards of another cyber wolf in its pack. So you would need several of them for that to be in effect. But I was going to say they've got combat jaws, cyber audio suite with an internal agent, and cyber eyes that have the targeting scope built into them, which is intense because they do 46 damage when they do their grapple, their combat jaw grapple attack does 46 damage, which is insane for a little wolf. But imagine a pack of those.
Yeah.
Like, even 3 of those would tear up a group of people. But yeah, and that is all the Cyber Plus pets. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just want to make a note. It has a tech upgraded combat jaw. So if it grapples you,
yeah,
it does an extra D6 damage.
Yeah, on top of
yeah. Well, once it's holding
D6,
you.
yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. They're scary. And just remember there was the plot hook about the fighting ring that has a pack of wolves that will have
and because it's a
awareness.
pack, they would all get the level 3 combat awareness, yeah.
So be careful against a pack of cyber wolves.
Or don't fight a pack of cyber wolves.
I do want to point out the quote is from Officer Elena Shepard Corda, and she talks about, I'll take my Gustav over them any day. That is the dog that was in Danger Gal Dossier. That was the canine companion who has some cybernetics.
Yep.
So you can find out more about Elena and Gustav if you take a look at Danger Gal Dossier. I have no idea what page because I didn't look that up ahead of time. I'm sorry, but they're in there and they're wonderful. And Gustav is best boy.
Is for sure. Well, the best dog is the Cyber Corgi, but short of that.
Gustav is best
from
boy.
From the Valhalla DLC.
Gustav is best boy. I will die on this hill.
Right.
I'm gonna let Games talk about the different cyberware, but to give his voice a bit of a break, if you haven't seen some of the cyberware that belongs to these pets, it's out there. It's just distributed between Black Chrome, some core rulebook obviously, but also Black Chrome, Interface, Red, Volume 2 and 3, as well as Microchrome. And the wonderful team at Talsorian made life easy, and they reprinted the cyberware used from those books into this DLC so you would have it.
Yeah. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on all of it, because I could. There's plenty of information here. I'm just going to go roughly over what's there. So the first one that's up is the chip compartment. Costs 100 EB. It's installed at a clinic. Humanity loss of 3 or 1d6. It requires 3 option slots to install it, but it creates a compartment that is concealable for up to 4 pieces of chipware without rolling, and it can easily be removed as an action. So that's what the Cyber Rabbit had, and super helpful. Combat Jaw, which we have seen on several of the animals because it's awesome. 500 EB, hospital installation. It does 46 humanity loss or 14 as base. It requires 2 slots to install. The jaw replaces the normal jaws with a hydraulic jaw capable of devastating by force with 2 rows of reinforced teeth. The combat jaw functions as a very heavy melee weapon, which is intense.
Could you?
And in the wolves, even worse.
You could have a cyberjaw and vampires, right?
Yeah, I would imagine. Because it's separate layers.
By the way, if you get this installed in the cyber boa, its humanity's gone. Like, that's it.
Oh yeah,
it's breaking.
For sure.
Yep.
That's okay. You wouldn't even know if they were crazy. So, when
When
mad
it
cow was a thing,
turns on you
it
and
still
kills you.
is, but chickens could very easily have mad cow disease and we wouldn't know it because they're insane anyway. That's why they don't have a mad chicken disease.
Oh, chickens
They're
are
already
mad.
cyber psycho. Chameleon coding, which I talked about when I talked about the ocelot, very briefly. Basically, it gives them a what is it? If it remains still for 1 minute, it can activate a cloak that hides it from all visual sensors, including low light, infrared, and UV, unless they pass a DV-17 check, which is awesome.
Yeah.
The cloak is deactivated automatically if they move or uh, move further than 2 yards in one round, but they can stand still again to reactivate it. So, the flash bulb,
And
which I talked
I
about,
would just say multiple installations lower that 1 minute time
yeah,
down to like 9
so
seconds.
9 seconds is if you have the three, which is awesome
So you can just
because
imagine just like a medium-sized jungle cat sitting perched somewhere that you have no idea it exists.
for 3 rounds and it just
For three
disappears,
rounds,
and
it
then
just disappears. Yeah.
yeah, and then as long as it moves slowly,
And we know how much cats don't move, so it's just sleeping, cloaked into the apartment, dead.
well, and because the ocelots were kind of badasses anyway,
Yeah,
like, oh my goodness.
yeah.
The
Best
flash bulb,
security measure.
right, which I already talked about. 500 EB clinic install. You don't have to go to a hospital for it. But anything with meat eyes within 25 meters makes a DV-15 resist torture drug. If they fail, they have the critical eye damage injury for 1 minute, which is devastating in combat.
By the way, it's for me eyes or cyber optics. If you don't have anti-dazzle,
Yeah,
or
that's true.
you will get hit regardless.
Yep,
I mean, unless you make the DB.
right. Hardened cyber eye casings, which just make it to where your cyber eye installations cannot be disabled because of EMP or any black ice program.
Non-black ice program.
Non-black ice, sorry. Homing tracker Cyberfinger, which is awesome because then you can find things within a mile of you. Typically sold in an easy removable finger nail linked can't say the word tracker. Tracer. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But those are expensive, but you can get those installed at a mall. And then last is the Forever Turtles Data Response Nanomatrix, which I already explained. It costs 100. Or, is that 100 EB? Should say 1,000 EB. That's a misprint. 1,000 EB installed in a hospital, but once per day it can fully restore your skin weave or subdermal armor to full SP. Each individual installation gives you another use per day. So that is everything.
The trauma response nano matrix definitely should be 1,000 EP.
Yeah, because the book says it's 100, but with the comma there and it says very expensive. Yeah. I was like, that's 1,000.
If it was only 100, everybody would have it. Let's be honest.
I would have it right now.
All right. So yeah, that's the DLC. Thank you guys in chat for your questions, for your comments.
Oh, we still need to discuss the ones that were given to us on.
Yes, we're going to get to that next. I just wanted to, as we pull up the community submissions for Cyberpets, because while the DLC does not tell you how to go about building your own Cyberpet, we thought it would be. I felt like they gave enough of a range of the various animals where you could figure it out and create your own. So we threw it to the community to see if they could, if they wanted to create their own model. Those who applied and wanted to be entered to win a PDF copy of Tales of the Red Hope Reborn have done so, and we'll get that winner at the end of the end of the stream. You made a cyber horse? That's amazing. Um,
You can make a cyber cowboy that rides a cyber horse.
so okay, here's the thing. I didn't actually make one, but my roommate mentioned to me because I love Final Fantasy. I love chocobos. Chocobos are like a big thing for me, and I wanted to
Right.
make a cyber ostrich that was essentially a chocobo. So yes, cyber horse, and it would use the riding skill instead of your land vehicle. But you could ride it, and it would like have an awesome top speed. So Lord Jesus, if you would like to post about your cyber horse in the chat, we will read it. We're gonna go through the community submissions in our Discord first. Starting, I think, with Miss Gucci. Is that the first one?
Yep.
Do you want me to take that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ms. Gucci, a genetically engineered purse, genetically resembling an uplifted house cat, but with, I should say this is from, Beelzborn. I'm so sorry. Genetically resembling an uplifted house cat, but with the, chromatophore? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Chromatophores.
Thank you, chromatophores, of an octopus added, and an anatomy inspired from the Mimic from vintage 20th century role-playing games. On the surface is indistinguishable from a designer purse and capable of changing its shape and color somewhat to adhere to whatever is in fashion. It is, however, a living, breathing, warm-blooded animal, and if it doesn't recognize the scent of the hand reaching inside it, well, let's just say there's 1100 psi worth of bite force in place to make the Mimic reference into something beyond just nerdery. Ms. Gucci is incapable of moving independently, very fond of affection, and will purr happily when petted by their owner, who they can also interact with through a data jack that connects to their agent. It has its own biomon and a cyber-engineered means of ingesting food and getting rid of bodily waste. It still retains a sense of taste and is a very picky eater. This little girl is one of a kind, a custom job for a 0.001%er as a birthday gift to the celebrity they were dating at the time. It's worth millions and could provide a nice plot hook if it was stolen.
I think that could be an interesting storyline.
Mm-hmm.
My purse was stolen.
Yeah. Don't tell them it's secretly a Miss Gucci purse.
Next up by Repowerplay, the Cybermorph. Project name Runner Minomorph. Cost is 18,000 EB. Requires fresh food. Has 2 cyber slots. Introducing the Cybermorph. Unleash the perfect predator. Tired of your ordinary security measures? Need something more terrifying? Meet the Cybermorph, the ultimate cyberpet designed for stealth, speed, and raw power. Inspired by the 20s most terrifying movie Predator, the Cybermorph combines cutting-edge cybernetics with primal instincts to create the perfect companion for your high-risk operations. And if you're in our Discord, went ahead and gave us an entire stat block, just like in the book, and it looks awesome. They have the combat jaws, so they also do 3d6 damage, which is intense.
And the combat tail.
Yeah.
As well as tech upgraded subdermal. I do like that their empathy is 2 and their intelligence is 3, so...
Alright. Oh no, I lost my place.
So did
I. And then they also gave us the Cyberfox Lifestyle Good Pre-Pack Cyber Slots 2. It's a red fox that has a custom crafted implants. Versions of the Banshee microphone and Killstorm Sonic Boom amplifier allow this fox to do their scream and deafen its targets. Probably a Cyber Eyes, maybe internal agent, like a Cyberwolf. I like the idea of that. Or like if it was a, what are they, the Shiba Inus, which are known for their awful scream that they make when they're upset about something. Just to have a Banshee and the Killstorm Sonic Boom amplifier.
Yeah.
That's intense.
It would be. I think it would be neat to if it had what is it? Raid has the voice box.
Yeah, the Vox.
And then you could like modify its screams. It's horrible, but it'd be fun. Okay. Next we have from Patient Zero. There's a few things. And I promoted this as though, Taliavex was asking the research team to submit models for the next release of Cyberpets. So this is from from H.E. Adder. Greeting, Miss Vex. As per the instructions of your internal memo, this is a formal submission for consideration for the next wave of releases in the reinstated Cyberpet line of products. I believe that you will find my designs to be economical, highly marketable, and with years of longevity to them thanks to their core adaptability, allowing them to be highly customizable in a near infinite number of ways, making them a perfect addition to the burgeoning Cyberpet market. I await your reply and assessment. All relevant files have been attached to this message. Courteously, Professor Edgar H. Adder, Ecological Sciences Division. So, the Cyberpets that were released are the Octopus prototypes, versions 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. Codename Project Cuttlefish. The Cyber Octopus, aka the Cuttlefish, are a prototype line of high-end, customizable Cyberpets designed for functionality as well as companionship. Based on the genes of the octopus. How do you say that?
Where are you? Sorry.
Second
Based
one.
on the genes
fancy,
of the
you guys
octopus.
do fancy words.
I don't know. That one I don't know.
Sure.
Sure.
Fancy words. AKA the California two-spot octopus. To keep the Cyberpet to a reasonable size even at the extremes. The Cyber Octopi are carefully curated clones grown from a common genetic template. Due to their unique physiology, a creation and installation of desired cyberware takes longer compared to more solid, i.e. vertebrated, subjects. This time is not wasted, however, as during the roughly 1-year process of conversion, each cuttlefish goes through an extensive education program where it not only learns how to handle its new gear, but learns a variety of real-life related skills as well, making them capable of assisting their future owners in different ways. Unfortunately, these Cyberpets do not lend themselves very well to aftermarket modifications beyond cosmetic. No two cuttlefish are the same, even those of the same model type develop distinctly different personalities from one another, and treated well, a Cyber Octopus is a loyal and loving companion to the end. Treated badly, the Cyberpet can be the biggest pain in your ass as it uses its intelligence and training to get its revenge, if it doesn't just run away altogether. I like that it's funny. Got like a vendetta. It's like it will get a grudge and you will pay for it.
Have you ever watched the videos of crazy stuff that octopus do? They can like escape any tank and like oh my goodness, octopus are a mess.
But why not have one? I like that patient is probably taking this into consideration. Like that's why it's called a cuttlefish and not an octopus.
Right.
So they require 15,000 EB. Required lifestyle though it's good pre-pack, which is nice. It's not fresh food. They don't have any extra cyberware slots. They are a lieutenant level, which means they do take up a sleeping spot. And let's see, version 1.1 is the helping hand. This Cyberpet is a handyman's best friend. 1 part multi-tool, 1 part assistant. It can work by your side or be given tasks of its own to do. The two of you can even work as one, as the installed micro recorders can let you see what it sees while giving it instructions through its internal agent and virtuality overlays. Comes in the following colors: yellow with silver stripes and black speckles, orange with yellow stripes and silver speckles. Then Cuttlefish 1.2 is the administrative assistant. Good help is hard to find these days. So true. And this Cyberpet is here to change that. It can manage your schedule, handle your calls, dictate your musings, can balance your books, it can spy on your friends, it will keep your secrets to the bitter end. So if you don't want your agent to do things because you'd much rather have a cuddly pet, this look.
I think that's a great idea. I need one of those.
Comes in. I feel like you would just be like, Cuttlefish, write me a new song.
Yeah. I need a song about, I don't know, community.
In it. It comes in the following colors: black with white stripes and red speckles, navy blue within gray stripes and white speckles. And lastly, we have the Party Pal. Fashionable, functional, adorable. The Party Pal is the perfect wingman and accessory for a night out on the town. It will keep you safe from potential buzzkills with its laser defense system, and check that your party favorites are clean with its chemical analyzer. You'll never go out or come home alone again. It comes in the following styles: color shifting or star chart.
Which is amazing.
And then a little lower, a patient did write the stats for these. So if you're in...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're in the Discord, you can take a look. I
These
think
are
most
like
of them
fully
have
actualized.
Yeah, they have skin weave on their head and their body of 7, all 3 versions. I think they changed. It does look like they changed some of the stats for certain ones. The helping hand comes with chameleon coating, a subdermal pocket, a tech hand, and they put what was in that tech hand. Modded squirt gun cyberfinger, shoulder cam, paired cyber eyes, cyber audio suite, bug detector, which is insane. Where's the other one? The administrative assistant.
I like that the administrative assistant is only semi-aquatic.
Mm-hmm. Homing tracer, cyberfinger, squirt cyberfinger, ballpoint cyberfinger, of course, lighter, microphone, air hypo. I love that essentially each of its tentacles are a different cyberfinger.
I like that you're going to smoke a cigarette and it like holds up its lighter tentacle.
Yes! Oh my god, that's so perfect.
You're like in a business meeting.
And because it has you know what's really scary? Because it has this chameleon coating cyberware, you put in a lighter and a flame just appears out of nowhere because it's on your shoulder and
as long as it does it
invisible.
slowly.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Cyberfinger's tentacles have been modified to accommodate appropriate cyber mechanisms and do not have fingers or hands. And the Party Pal, let's see. Chameleon coating, skin weave from pocket. Laser pointer cyberfinger times 4. Air hypo cyberfinger times... Yeah, so that's what it said. It said it would distract, it would blind with laser gun fingers. Air hypo cyberfinger times 2. Modded spray paint cyberfinger, squirt gun cyberfinger, paired cyber eyes, of course. Radio scanner music player, because it needs to have that.
Right.
Unremovable chemical analyzer. Tech upgraded to be free of the CWS and analyzer pair. Nasal filters. I like that it comes with toxin binders and nasal filters.
Right. And it has 3 light tattoos.
Because it's going to test your things, right? So.
Yeah.
Your drugs. It needs to know if your drugs are clean without getting high on its own. Oh, those are awesome. Those are fantastic.
And then we have the Cyber Horse. By the way, thank you, Patient. That was awesome.
It is its own little rave machine. They're all so good.
Well, you can put like party drugs in its tentacles and stuff.
They're all so good, though. I love them, like each of them.
The Cyber Horse costs 4,000 EB, requires good prepack, has 4 cyber slots, and I cannot see that. I am blind in my old age.
Hardened Lieutenant level. Oh, it has a combat kick / combat kick. I like that.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got 11 SP on both body and head. It has a brawling of 14. Nice. Well, and its move is a 10, so just like the rabbit, it would be very quick.
Do you see the cyberware? Under skill base.
Oh, it has jump boosters and skate foot.
Yes!
Yeah, that's awesome.
Also has a neural link with chipware socket and the olfactory boost, which is nice.
Well, and you can neural link directly to the interface on the horse using a plug of personal link, so that you can communicate movement to the horse with a hands-free method, which is cool.
Oh, when you did do it, that it was as Cyberhorse that they trust and has a base 10 of riding. I'm so glad. Riding doesn't get enough love. We don't see it enough.
Right.
I'm glad you used riding as a space. I mean, it should be, but...
Still, yeah. Brawling against target brawling to buck a person off. If successful, they're thrown to the ground and lands 2 yards next to the cyber horse.
And with the brawling base 14...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to scoff at.
No, yeah. If you make that horse mad, you are going to get kicked off. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Sorry, I have been reading a lot, and so I haven't been able to watch chat as much as I usually do.
I just saw that the rave thing has a dance base of 8. The rave cuttlefish. Oh, I want a cyber horse. They're pretty hardy too.
Yeah, which
those 4
is
slots,
amazing because real horses are not. Real horses will die for no reason at all.
Those 4 slots, you gotta be careful because they're already sitting at an empathy of 2.
Right? Yeah, yeah. You would have to install mostly fashion wear.
Yeah.
My horse needs tattoos.
Or like animal therapy. Is that a med tech? We have med techs that do like vets that are like installation, and then we have therapy specific med techs that are just for animals. And
that's what Wraith should become, is a animal therapist.
On one hand, I'm like, I've never seen Wraith talk to an animal ever. Has never spent any time with Vim ever in his like in the months that we have had it.
I took care of Vim when you were in the hospital.
No. Did you?
Uh-huh. The first time you were in the hospital, when I brought you the plant.
To say which time.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, when we just got Vim, you did spend time with him. On the other hand, Wraith being an animal doctor makes just so much sense.
Right. Well, we do a lot of music therapy.
I was gonna say that. Jesus said I made this because I'm playing a cowboy in a game. I'm playing in since there's no rules written way to get a horse. Showed this to my GM and they accepted it. Base 14 animal handling and riding. Ooh, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
I hope you get to use the horse.
And if you're a cowboy, you could get chickens. They're only 100 EB.
Why do you have to be a cowboy to get chickens? I'm sorry, why was that a prerequisite to getting chickens?
Because ranchers have animals, and you can get a cow and chickens are in the main book.
Not just ranchers.
I'm just saying, if you want animals as props. Do you think Blank's gonna let us get a live pig?
No.
But they're so affordable.
Not easily. Although I do like that you could have a horse and a chicken, because I feel like a chicken would be a mook level and doesn't require its own bed.
Right. It can sleep on the horse.
Does the horse have a separate saddle that has like a chicken?
A chicken saddle?
A chicken saddle or a chicken pocket where it can just... Yes.
Well,
I'm
and
sorry.
that's the thing.
Jesus, we went really far with your idea. Your cyber horse is amazing. We just kind of
it is
one down.
I was gonna say it's a cyber. The cyber horse is a hardened lieutenant, which I don't think it would be as big as a mini boss, but or a hardened lieutenant feels too small. Also, like horses are in a weird size range.
Well, mini boss is 2 sleep spaces.
Yeah, but when a horse is laying down, they really don't take up that much room.
I wonder if it's like just one of those things where I'd be like, because I feel like hard in certain GMs, like it's like yes, but it needs to be in a space outside.
Right. Yeah, because like imagine living in a cube hotel with a horse.
Horses can loaf. Yes, you can't live in a cube hotel. They don't have an extra bed space. The entire cube. No. Oh my god. The entire main floor of a cube hotel. Those rooms are just horse beds.
Horse stalls.
Horse stalls. Because that would in fact work. Instead of parking structure, it's just horse stalls.
My god.
I want to run a horse motel now. This is so...
Yeah. We'll do a Cyberpunk RED game that takes place like in Utah or Colorado or somewhere where like it's still all the things from the RED but like with horses and cowboys and
it's just, yeah, it's in the Badlands and it's run out of the entire show is run out of the horse motel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cars are super uncommon but horses are super common.
When someone pulls up in a car, everyone's like, ooh. Why? Oh, your players bought a live pig. A couple sessions ago, so one of the players were waiting to get turned to 500 EB worth of meat. Yeah, that was our plan.
Yep.
Blank will not let us do that.
No.
Not unless we have to go break into a biotechnica facility, and for 500 EB, it's just not worth it.
Right. We have to go against like Militech to get a pig. There was a movie?
That sounds very familiar. There was a movie about like a dog hotel or doggy daycare, and I cannot place it or picture it, but I'm like, that sounds legit, yes. So I'm sure, like that, but for horses.
Right.
That would be awesome.
And I think that we covered the DLC pretty well this time. I don't think we're going to have a second episode like last time.
No. Hotel for dogs.
Oh, I did see that. I own that.
That was a movie? Oh, I own that.
Yeah.
There was another animal I had an idea for, and I was going to bring it up, but now I can't remember. You had a thing that you wanted to mention when we got to gear, pets. I asked you if you would remember it, and you said, "Oh yeah, I'll remember it," and I was really concerned.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Uh-huh. I think we're talking about plot hooks. He did not write it down. I told him to write it down. He did not write it down.
I did not. It's funny, I have Jess's notes up, and I easily could have written it down.
Even just like a word in chat to like jog your memory.
Right.
Is it about the cyber bear? Was something about the cyber bear?
No. That was the joke about Barry being in the...
Barry's not, no.
Listen, the container
stop
with the
trying
cyber
to kill
bear.
Barry.
I've got it out for Barry.
You do. I don't know why, but you do. But yeah, Cyberpets. I'm so curious to see more Cyberpets. And
right.
Yeah. Well, we can. Buddy, do you want to roll me a dice?
A dice.
Justice
Rolling it. I'm gonna roll my our custom.
Your cyber dice.
Yes. Our saves first death D6.
Justice for Barry, but Barry is like Bear the animal, a cyber Barry. I love it so much.
I got a 6.
You got
I got
a
my
6.
skull.
Okay. Nice. So congratulations to Powerplay for winning the PDF of Tales of the Red Hope Reborn. We will get that out to you as soon as possible.
Yep.
I believe we have your email. If not, I'll be messaging you. I'm sure I do.
We'll get a hold of you, I'm sure.
Get a hold of you. Congratulations. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank you
being
for all
here.
the submissions. Yeah.
For submitting it. Community submissions for Nicely Stuff are one of my favorite things. So,
right.
When we can
we
do
have
it.
so much fun with them, too. Just seeing all the creative stuff that people come up with. And I think I need several of the octopuses, the cuttlefish.
All of them. We need one of each. If we get a a tank, do you think if we get like a 3-bed tank, we could fill them with cuttlefish?
Yes. No, the question that in chat, that if we were doing
Sorry,
an
go ahead.
upgrade for HQ for pets, what would it be?
What would it do?
That's an interesting question.
Okay, because it would be a room specific to the pet.
Well, and I'm thinking it would be like
a pet,
like a playroom for them, so that your animal handling rules are easier to get them to listen to you. Like if you have an ocelot, it's a room full of like cat trees and stuff.
I like that.
And if it's getting out of control, you like take it in that room and you're like, listen to me, buddy. Or you're in your safe space.
Either that, if it doesn't lower the animal handling DV.
Yeah.
But that would, I mean, it should lower animal handling DV for training, but also for new cyber installations.
Okay.
And I would say if you get it upgraded, you can probably reduce the time.
It takes,
instead of it taking a full day to train them with the new cyberware. No, I said
yeah.
Yeah, it cuts it to like maybe half a day or 6 hours or something.
Yeah.
Would be the upgraded version.
For sure. Course, I think that would be neat.
Whatever the pet room would be whatever pet you have.
Right. Like if it's a bear, it's an entire den.
Would be, yeah. A den, a play den, whatever it is, would be like would be geared towards whatever Cyberpets you guys have.
Right.
Or well, how many, would you need multiple? Like how many different like species types of pets could the playroom handle?
I think up to 2 types of pets. I wouldn't get crazy with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Also, that's interesting. Yeah, it would be housing for them. It would increase the pet capacity, so like a dog run, the dogs sleep at, you know.
I thought about that.
Like the kennel.
Yeah, I like. You know what? I like both of them. So let's. Why not? Why the HQ can also have a pet motel, which gives extra sleep capacity. It can also have a den for training.
Well, and if you have that cube hotel for the horses, then each of those is a pet room.
Exactly. You just convert it. You can buy an infinite amount of times for stalls. I'm not going to stop you. I really do like the idea of there being like a playroom for you to bond and help train.
Right.
Really
like in Pokemon, when you could like pull your pets out and play with them. In the 3DS, I want to say it was X and Y, you could like wash them, and the Snorlax would take up both the bottom screen and top screen because he was so big. And he would left like a fluff on his foot between his toes, and he was all sad about it, and you had to like clean the fluff out of his feet.
The training room definitely needs like a pet like spa, or maybe there could be a pet spa room. I don't know.
Right.
Something.
It increases your pet's appearance. It's like wardrobe style for pets.
Yeah, but it also like helps with like its care because it gets like special baths and whatnot.
Yeah, I like it.
Now I'm gonna think about like headquarters rooms that you could do for pets.
Oh, but adding other DLCs to this make it real sad, because like, imagine you're out with like your random pet and you'd like blood rain or something. I'd feel so bad.
Oh, that pet is like in a jacket. Like I will take the damage before the pet takes the damage.
But I mean, like, if it was a bear or something.
Then the bear has a rain jacket. This has been bought ahead of time. There is the weather lining.
Looks like bad weather.
Jackets that help protect you. It's got a pop-up Militech umbrella that is for its size.
A combat umbrella for the bear
that pops out from its back to protect it from rain. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about one that would reduce the tier of lifestyle.
Actually, that would be a good thing to have anyway, not just for animals, but like have a garden space in your headquarters to reduce the cost of everyone's
I think Angel
lifestyle.
did that in his homebrew document. Garden was one for exactly that reason.
Oh, I did not read that, so.
But I would say it would be different from the pet one.
Yeah.
The pets will need their own
garden space.
Yeah, but would it be a garden? Like, what would that room...
If it's a cyber boa, I don't even want to know what that space looks like. You have a basement that's, like, infested by large rats, and you're like, this is your feeding room, cyber boa. Army of Spiders also would not be cheaper if you had vegetables.
No. No. I also just realized one of the morale upgrades should be a dance floor with like, and then you can get your cuttlefish to be your rave thing on the dance floor. With music.
Just get a smoke machine. Mix it with
does the cuttlefish have a smoke machine?
It should. If it doesn't.
Can we amend it so that it has a smoke machine?
I was going to say mix it with a squid and give it like smoke grenade effect instead of
Yes.
ink.
Love it. Love it. That was a good question.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Smoke liquid in the squirt gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Alright. We figured it out. Oh. You said the best you could do was make a paint cloud, like if you don't switch it out. All I could think of was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs with Steve and the party box, where confetti goes everywhere. It's got a paint cloud. Dodge your cuttlefish. Squirt gun! Paint everywhere. It'd be great distraction.
Right. You could throw a heck of a party.
Not so much maybe in the headquarters. Wraith would do
well,
it. Wraith would
in
do
the
it.
garage.
Feel like if Moxie ever takes a point in Nomad and you throw a party in the garage, she may kill you.
Yeah, no. I'd have it coming. I'd only do it if Rex's car's in there, so.
I bought him that car, she'd definitely kill you. Wait, a cyber octopus with an ink spray that fires using the shotgun shell firing mode that blinds opponents. Oh, no, wait, hang on. Yes to that, but also, can we have a Faisal cuttlefish? Where each of its legs are one of the different guns that it shoots.
And it's like single shot.
The problem is, once it's empty, they can never be reloaded. Like, it's at that point, it's just a cuttlefish.
Yeah, it just becomes a cuttlefish after that.
But it's cheaper. It's significantly cheaper. And they're limited, though, because Faisal only did a limited pair in Biotechnica. But every now and again, it's like, escape plan!
I think that's a great idea. Combat cuttlefish.
Cyber cuttlefish.
Right. That's in the plus line.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's for combat.
Yeah.
Oh man. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for joining us. Love you all so very, very much.
It means a lot to us to have you guys here.
Hangout brainstorm sessions at some point.
I agree.
I was thinking that exact same thing as Cyberpets sponsored by Gunmart. Gunmart versus Faisal Cyberpet lines.
Oh my goodness. They would all be terrible things though, like pigeons and rats and like city dwelling creatures anyway. And their cyberware would be like bottom basement stuff, like this one glows in the dark. How's that helpful? It does.
They're all combat. They have to have like, I picture like a rattlesnake that rattles before it uses. Doesn't Gunmart have that rock gun?
Yeah, the rocket launcher.
So it like eats rocks and then it shoots them out its tail or something.
Right.
Gunmart. Really want to research and deep dive into this, but we are going to call it here. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for joining us on Night City Sofa. If there's anything else you want us to cover, or if there's a spin-off Night City Sofa that you think would be fun to do for the show, please let us know, either via social media or comments on a Night City Sofa YouTube video or in our Discord. It's probably the best place.
We're always in the Discord.
Yeah. Night City Sofa will return later this month for a special anniversary episode, because it is 3 years this month, and a Q&A. So if you have any questions, or I want to do something fun and I don't know what to do, so if you guys have any ideas,
help us out.
Let me know. Finally, I believe they're in an ad right now, so I'm trying to... Yeah.
It's the General.
The General?
For me.
Oh.
Yeah. The insurance company.
I can't see anything. No, it looks like it's a movie. I see car chases and bikes.
You get better ads than I do.
Yeah. Oh no, now I got pizza. That's not good, because now I'm gonna want pizza. I do think it is the Nomad Rocker that I am thinking of.
Yeah, for sure.
So...
Also, we are going to be back with our regular show soon.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Oh, you were waiting until after the ads?
Well, I was trying to, but it seems like it's a long one, so...
Yeah, I still have 30 seconds left on my ad.
Oh, that's too long. Okay, so we will be back in a couple weeks to do a Q&A. If you have any ideas for that, let us know. And then on the first Thursday of December to talk about whatever this month's DLC is going to be, which probably won't hit until the end of the month.
Right.
Also, fingers crossed that December's is 12 Days of Petmas, so we get more Cyberpets. And... Okay, we're back.
Regular scheduled programming.
Yes, and then this Saturday, we will return with Shades of Scarlet. Gojira is back. We're picking up at the Slammer as we start Season 4, which will probably start with Fight. And, yeah.
We'll find out what happened to Hades after his giant fall.
Yeah. And Moxie's kind of going up to an enemy, so I'm sure everything will be just fine. So join us Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern, and yeah, join us on Discord. We'll talk more about Cyberpets. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll be around. And
keep your fingers crossed for 12 Days of Petmas in December. It's not going to be a thing, but maybe if I say it long enough and as many times, it will. Until next time, Tubes, stay frosty.
Bye!